Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I want to welcome you all to this edition of the Colton Joint Unified School District Board of Education meeting for today, August 7th, 2025. It is a busy, packed house. I want to make sure that folks are able to work their way into the room. If we could fill in every seat that's possible, and I know that we've got our staff. We did bring in some more chairs. We do have staff trying to make sure that we can accommodate as many as possible. And of course, if you would like to speak, there are speaker cards listed just beneath that sign that says Colton Joint Unified School District, and those cards can still be turned in up to the moment of public comment. So welcome. Lots on the agenda and lots of folks here today. It's exciting to see you. Our school year just started. So we'll kick off our meeting as we do every meeting with our renewal. Actually, we'll do roll call. Apologize. Ms. Medina, please, roll call.
Mr. Ibarra?
Present.
Mrs. Haro? Present. Mrs. Sandoval?
Present.
Mr. Fuentes?
Present.
Mrs. Flores?
Present.
Mr. Flores?
Present. All right, this takes us to the Pledge of Allegiance, and I'm happy to ask someone to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance who is an old friend of Colton Joint Unified School District. He's hiding back there somewhere, but I told him I was going to invite him to lead us. He's our former president of our ACE, which is our Teachers Association here in Colton, and now an employee with CTA and a great leader in the community. Mr. Robert Lemoyne, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? There he is. Robert. Thank you, Robert, and once again, it's good to see you. Best to the family. All right, we also have Spanish language translation services available to anyone that wishes to utilize those. At this time, I'm going to ask Ms. Cynthia Bueno to please come forward and share a little bit of information about our Spanish language translation services.
Gladly so. Board President Flores, thank you. Muy buenas noches a todos. Good evening all. Yo soy Cintia Bueno, soy recepcionista y traductora del distrito. Si alguien desea escuchar la reunión completamente en español, simultáneamente pueden encontrarme a mí y a mi compañera Jeanette. Tenemos los dispositivos que pueden utilizar para hacerlo. No duden en buscarnos. Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you, Mrs. Bueno. We appreciate that. All right, this takes us to item 1.3 of the agenda, which is our adoption of the agenda. At this time, we have no items to add or remove from the agenda, Dr. Miranda, but I do have a request of the board. Just given, obviously, it's a lengthy agenda, I would like to request that we make a slight change, and that's simply taking two items that are a little bit later in the agenda and moving them up to allow for our representatives from our Teachers Association and as well as our CSEA representative to go ahead and provide their comments. So under what is typically 6.3, our ACE update, and 6.4, our CSE update, I wanted to ask if we could amend the agenda to move those further up on the agenda. They do have some obligations later on. They'll have to step out. So if we can allow them to speak after our special presentations, but before public comment. So I would like to request that and see if there might be a motion to make that amendment.
I'll second that.
Wonderful. I have a motion by Board Member Haro and a second by Board Member Fuentes. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, it is so ordered. All right. Well, that takes us to our special presentations today, and we'll kick off with our introduction of new management. So I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Dade, our Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources.
Good evening, Board President Flores, board members, Superintendent Dr. Miranda, and members of the audience. It is my honor and privilege to welcome our new management team members. First, I'd like to bring up our new principal from Colton Middle School, Dr. Rosanna Hernandez. Dr. Hernandez has an extensive background in K through 12. She was a math teacher, instructional support teacher, assistant principal, principal of a K through 8, and most recently assistant principal in of a high school in Alvord Unified School District. She was department chair for several years for math, testing coordinator, and so forth as well. She loves the TV show The Office so much. I almost said something, but I'm gonna leave that alone. So much that she uses it as background noise every night while she's catching up for work. So I don't know how you can listen to White and stay serious, but she loves 80s music. What's your favorite song?
Anything by Journey.
Journey. Okay, okay. I like that. And she has a gift of memorizing numbers fairly easily. So complete phone numbers, extensions, zip codes, close family members' driver's license numbers, and even social security numbers. Where's my wallet at? My wallet right here. So we're just so happy to have you join us with all these great skills and talents, and you've already made an impact on the Colton Middle School community, and we appreciate that, and we're really looking forward to seeing all the great things that you're going to bring to our district. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Good evening, Board President Flores, board members, Superintendent Dr. Miranda, and the members of the audience. I'm so happy for the opportunity to be here. I just want you to know I have my mom who drove from the heart of Hollywood, Los Angeles, to be here with us today. And I have my, yes, thank you. I have my daughter and my son. They started school yesterday. And then my husband, who's been with me for the past 21 years. We've been married, and he's been with me through thick and thin, and I'm just really happy for their support. I'm also really grateful for the opportunity to be here. I've already met many of the students just on a one-on-one basis this week, and they're just amazing, very respectful. I'm just amazed by how well the parents raised them. It's so young and so respectful, so kind, and so I'm really looking forward to what this year brings. Thank you.
One more round of applause for Dr. Hernandez, please. Next, I'd like to introduce our new principal of Ruth O. Harris Middle School, Lori Walton. Lori started with the district in, you mind if I say the year? She grew up in the district. Started as a 6th grade teacher at Harupa Vista, yes. But she also did her student teaching at Crestmore Elementary. So over the years, she's been a TOA, taught Math 8, Math 7. She recently has been the assistant principal at Rufo for the last 3 years, and now our wonderful new principal. She has served in a variety of different roles. One of my favorite roles we talked about is she used to be a general manager for a family restaurant chain. And so she knows a lot about food and customer service and so forth. But she loves live music with musicians that play instruments. She started in music. She plays the piano, am I correct? Mm-hmm. And has also learned to play the cello and flute. Mm-hmm. Her children both play the bass guitar. And she often talks about her dream of being a rock star. And some people she aspires to be, I like this first one, I like both of them, Sheryl Crow and Gene Simmons. For those that don't know, that's the group called KISS. Okay. So ultimately, she has been a great individual at Rufo within the community. You've probably heard a lot about her efforts there. My kids and family members have been through that site as well, and they enjoyed their experience. So we're extremely excited to see her continue the great things that she's done at Rufo throughout not only this year, but beyond.
Thank you, Dr. Dudley. I appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, and so. Good evening, Board of Trustees, Dr. Miranda, Executive Cabinet, members of the audience, President Online friends and family. I am here this evening with my husband, Rob, and our daughter, Alyssa. I have stood at the podium across the dais dozens of times over the past 27 years and across the table many, many more times than that. This one is by far the most memorable. I am grateful for your faith and trust in me. That goes for everyone here and online. Hi, Blake. Hi, Olivia. Hi, Emma. Your Lulu loves you. And everyone that has raised me, lifts me, and loves me without condition. It is because of you and your love that I can pour love into all our kids and our community. I am blessed to never be on empty. How many folks can say that? It's extraordinary. As I enter this next season in my story, I think about a phrase from the book of Ecclesiastes. There is a time for every purpose under heaven. The people of Ruth O. Harris Middle School are passionate, professional, and purpose-driven. We believe this is Bulldog time, and together as one district to rise to our purpose. Collectively, we will be the difference we wish to see in our world. It is my distinct honor to serve and to lead this work. Thank you for welcoming me here with my family and my friends this evening.
One more round of applause for Mrs. Walton, please. Next, I'd like to introduce one of our new assistant principals at the elementary level, Alejandra Valencia. Alejandra comes to us with over 30 years of experience in K through 12. She's been an outdoor education camp teacher, reading recovery teacher, 5th grade bilingual kindergarten teacher, 6th grade bilingual teacher, bilingual resource specialist and ELD teacher, 7th through 9th, vice principal, director of outreach for the Blind Children Learning Center, literacy coach, ELA and ELD curriculum and intervention specialist, program manager for the Department of Education in Orange County, and most recently, elementary vice principal for dual immersion. And so a lot of great experience there. Some fun facts: she's been married for 16 years to her husband, whom she has had the joy and honor a blessing of knowing for 33 years. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, we can clap for that one. That's good. And she loves traveling and going camping. And so, what's your favorite place to camp?
Definitely Big Sur.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So we're just so excited when we did your reference checks. ABC Unified said this is a big loss to us in our community. And so what may be their loss is our game, and we really appreciate that you came over to help us to take care of our wonderful families and students. So thank you.
Good evening, members of the board, staff, and community members. Buenas tardes a todos. Es importante que reconozcamos nuestros dos idiomas. I bring with me my husband, Julian, my mom, Elisa, my dad, Santiago, and my new family members, Elsa and Juan. It is an honor to have them here with me. I want to begin by expressing my sincere gratitude for the opportunity and honor to serve this amazing community as the assistant principal for Wilson and McKinley Elementary. Being entrusted with the role that impacts the life of our students, our educators, and families is a responsibility I do not take lightly. Colton Joint Unified School District is more than just a collection of schools. It's a place where values, growth, and future dreams take root. I'm inspired by the dedication I see in our classrooms, the strength of our partnership with families, and the deep pride in the community in our schools. Gracias por la oportunidad. Thank you for the opportunity.
One more round of applause for Mrs. Valencia, please. And that concludes my presentation for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Today. We appreciate that. And to those that are new to the district, I want to welcome you to our family, because we are a family at Colton Unified. And to those who have been with us for a little while but are new to your role, congratulations. We are so excited for your leadership. This takes us to the time in our agenda where we're going to have our reports. So I'm going to begin with ACE, and so I'll call Mrs. Parachi up to give her ACE update.
Good evening, Board President Flores, Board Member, Superintendent Dr. Miranda, and member of the audience. I'm Christina Porachi, Association of Colton President. On behalf of the Association of Colton, I want to welcome you all to the 25-26 school year. We are off to a successful and energetic start. While our classrooms are filled with students and learning has resumed, you'll also notice that many of our school sites are still busy with construction and improvement, which is causing some challenges. Some campuses have received a fresh coat of paint, bright, colorful, full of life, and if you haven't heard me complaining of the yellow doors, go check out our schools. I'm not sure if it's complaint, but I'm still shocked who picked those doors. Others are still in need of some TLC to be fully ready to welcome the amazing students and dedicated staff who make our schools what they are. Our educators continue to show resilience and professionalism through it all, ensuring our students receive the best. Tonight, I'm honored to introduce the 25-26 Executive Board of the Association of Colton Educators. I could not do this work without the strong, dedicated team besides me. Thank you, guys. I push and push, and if you're in any leadership team at the district, you know, imagine what I do to my own team. Their commitment to serving our members and advocating for our school is unwavering, and we do work very hard on collaborating with the district and having a good relationship. I would like to introduce my right hand. Once, when we had at the kickoff on the 30th, you know your vice president has you back. When Jamal came and grabbed me to go and be the hungry hippo, and the vice president, I'm not leaving her alone, so she follows me. So Pamela, thank you for always being there for me. Rebecca Hastings, she's our secretary. I do have an accent, so she has to figure out what I say, and she gets it pretty good. Ras Levine, he's not here, but he's our treasurer, so he's keeping me from going to jail. Elementary directors, Claudina Montoya, thank you. Courtney Williams and Claudina, they can't say no to me, so if they look in my eyes, they know they're gonna do whatever I want. Devery Proctor, she's still new. She still gets away with not doing what I want. Ellie Caro, she's one of the most dedicated persons that you've seen, besides everybody else. Amanda Dugan Gutierrez, she's not here. She has 2 babies, so sometimes she gets excused. So the only way you get excused from doing things is if you have babies. Middle school directors, Caitlin Town, she's new, so she's gonna have to learn how to work with me. Wendy Stakoviak, she's been by my side as long as we could remember. We do have high school directors, Camille Butts. She's not here today, but she is a strong voice for equity. Joshua Sailing, he looked at me the wrong time, so I said, you are it, you're gonna be a director. Angela Lee, she is excused, she has babies, so she had to go home. At-large director, Shira Martinelli, she's been with us with the district, and she knows everybody in the district, and every teacher loves and respects her. And our support personnel director, do not mess with Gail Collard. I don't know why she's not here, so I'll find out. I also want to welcome back someone familiar to many of you, Robert Lemoyne, who served as ACE president until 2018. She had the courage to leave, and then I brought him back. He now returns at our CTA Regional UNICEF staff, bringing years of experience and deep understanding of our district and association. So he was the president for 7 years, and I think I'm going to beat him on that. I'll be a little bit longer. Together, this team will support, advocate, and lead as we continue to work collaboratively for the success of our students and staff. Thank you, and here to a strong and united 25-26 school year.
Thank you for that update, Christina. We appreciate it. And now I'd like to ask for our classified update with our CSEA president, Mr. Anthony Guadarrama.
Good evening, Board President Flores, board members, Superintendent Dr. Miranda, members of the audience online, and to all my brothers and sisters in the audience. Anthony Guadarrama, CSEA Chapter President, Colton 244. Man, time just flies, I tell you. Seems like yesterday we're just gearing up for all the end of the year activities and graduations, and here we are kicking off another school year. I want to start by welcoming everybody back to the 25-26 school year. The past couple weeks, we have had the CJUSD Annual Summer Leadership Summit and the CJUSD Kickoff Event, both of which, in my opinion, were highly successful. It was great to see everyone outside their classrooms, outside their office, and just connecting on a different level. Definitely good times and a fantastic way to start off the year. Excuse me. In between those two events, 10 CSEA delegates, including myself, had the privilege of representing our chapter membership at the 99th Annual Classified School Employees Association Conference. I want to thank the district and Dr. Miranda for always supporting our attendance at this extremely important, extremely powerful event. At this year's conference, out of 224,000 members statewide, we had a total of 1,800 delegates from all across the state of California. Our association president, Adam Weinberger, kicked off the event with his State of the Union address, and his message was clear. We need to stop the federal attack on public education, and we need to stand together to make that happen. We had some other amazing speakers, including keynote speaker Kath Kaskell, who imparted lessons of resilience and the human spirit. If you get a chance, I highly recommend looking her up. We heard powerful testimony from two of labor movement's most iconic voices, American Federation of Government Employees National President Everett Kelly and California Labor Federation Executive Secretary Treasurer Lorena Gonzalez, whose words brought all 1,800 attendees to their feet and had the room shaking with energy. All their messages were intertwined with a common theme. Public education is under attack, and it is our time to fight back. Now, I took this message not just as CSEA fighting back, but we as a district. CSEA, ACE, MAC, Board of Education, Executive Cabinet. It's going to take all of us to fend off future attacks. If we all stand together, we can make it happen. Now, I say it every year, but every time I leave conference, I walk away with a renewed appreciation for the relationship we have here at CJUSD. Not that I ever took it for granted. But one of the tough parts of conference is hearing stories from other chapters that don't have what we have here in Colton. The simple fact that Dr. Miranda can call me 24/7 and I will answer, and vice versa, is unheard of in some districts. In some districts, chapter leadership and district leadership don't even speak, which is mind-boggling because how do you operate like that? And not to throw shade at my fellow chapters, but because I know they're doing their best, but their administration and sometimes their Board of Education do not value classified employees the way CJUSD does. Now, as much as I appreciate our relationship, hearing some of the other chapters' issues brought to light some of our very own issues we're facing. Unfortunately, retaliation and intimidation are subtle yet prevalent. And I know it's a tough pill to swallow, but it's true. Starting last year, my first vice president, Nicole Figueroa, and chief union steward, Darlene Sanchez, were threatened with transfer due to their union activity. Now, not only this is illegal, but it severely impacts the progress we're making as a union and a district. Granted, they are taken away from their district duties to represent CSEA, but that is only because they are members of committees that help with district efficiency. Not only that, they wouldn't be so active if management stayed within our contract and our job descriptions. After discussing this potential unfair labor practice with Director of Security John Sachs and Assistant Superintendent Dr. Ortiz, they decided that the transfers were not in the best interest of the district, which I can appreciate because, again, communication is key. Fast forward to this past October, my second vice president, John White, had his hours changed, again, due to his union activity. On May 2nd, I emailed the Director of Transportation, Jessica Kwahu, to get a better understanding of the why behind his transfer. Now, I knew that part of the answer was the personal and professional issues that John's previous vehicle maintenance supervisor had with John. I also knew that the other part of the answer was the fact that John is outspoken when it comes to employee rights and enforcing the collective bargaining agreement between CSEA and CJUSD. The response I got back from Ms. Kwahu was our collective bargaining agreement language regarding transfers, which I didn't appreciate considering the fact that I know my contract language back and forth and inside out. Now, the district has the right to do a lot of things. The district has the right to make transfers. The district has the right to make the wrong decisions. The district has the right to kill morale, and the district has the right to wonder why morale is low. There have been multiple instances where John has reported that the director is violating our contract or employee rights, and when bringing some of those issues up to Assistant Superintendent Greg Fromm, his response was, well, file the grievance or unfair labor practice or whatever else you need to file. Now, I kind of understand where he's coming from, but that's not the type of relationship I have built and am trying to maintain in this district. I would much rather take care of things through effective communication and collaboration. Now, I try my hardest to keep myself humble, but as CSEA chapter president, when I let you know something is going wrong in your department, my expectation is that you're going to address it and fix it, not tell me, well, we're just going to keep on doing it until you file something. If that's the case, there is no point in communicating, and that's a slippery slope. When communication breaks down, relationships break down. As a matter of fact, we just filed our first official complaint against Ms. Kwahu regarding a violation of employee privacy and confidentiality. Ms. Kwahu took it upon herself to have a fellow CSEA member take notes during a disciplinary meeting, which is highly, highly inappropriate. And this isn't the first time, however, and according to Greg Fromm, she was told previously not to bring that same member in during disciplinary meetings. So either the transportation does not know about the proper disciplinary process or simply doesn't care. Both are equally concerning. And the ironic part is the disciplinary meeting was being held for a member breaking privacy and confidentiality protocol. More recently, my Sergeant-at-Arms David Espinoza and Political Action Coordinator Kevin Mendoza had their sites changed due to their union activity. Now, many of you here know David Espinoza, as he has dedicated over 35 years of his life to the Colton Joint Unified School District. Director of IT Jamal Boyce sent out an eloquent email explaining why these transfers were taking place: data, analytics, staff input, etc. David and I requested a meeting, which should have already taken place before David found out about his transfer, with Jamal and Stephen regarding the transfer. During that meeting, I straight up accused Jamal of singling out and targeting two of my CSEA officers. He pretended to be offended and then proceeded to tell me that the data and analytics supported his decision. I said, great, provide me with the data and make it make sense to me. If it's all on the up and up, it is what it is. That'll work. After requesting the data and analytics, he said we'd have to talk to HR. I said, fine, do what you gotta do. But a week later, I followed up with an email requesting all the information, and his response was our collective bargaining agreement, language regarding transfers. Again, I know my contract language, but I wanted him to make it make sense to me. If the CSEA chapter president is alleging these types of accusations, wouldn't it be in the best interest to provide all the data and analytics he used to justify the transfers? But no, the simple lack of answering why lends enormous credibility to my accusations. Both directors were given the opportunity to counter my accusations of retaliation, yet neither chose to. Oh, shoot. Fat-fingered it, sorry. Now, this is the type of retaliation that can happen to my very own CSEA officers. Imagine how widespread it is throughout the district. Many times my members are unwilling to come forward out of fear of further retaliation. But I'm here today to put each and every administrator on notice. Retaliation, intimidation will not be tolerated. We will identify you and we will be calling you out, whether it's through the complaint process, using this platform, or a combination of both. Lost my spot again, sorry. Our fiscal analysts know firsthand what happens when they reach out to the union to speak up against something that just isn't right. First, we identified a member doing duties that belong in another job description in a whole other department. Instead of coming together for a short-term fix while we worked on a long-term solution, the district's response was, well, we're going to make her do it. Now, for those of you that don't know me, that's not how I roll. My immediate response was, no, she's not. And then I gave her a directive to not complete those duties because not within her job description. The district then decided to double down and tell me that they were going to discipline her for not doing work that is not in her job description. Again, make it make sense to me. Guess what? Evaluation time comes up, and there are a lot of unsatisfactory or needs improvement marks on their evaluations. In the notes, taking direction was one of the main causes for unsatisfactory marks. Prior to those members reaching out to the union, their evaluations were exemplary. Again, subtle retaliation and intimidation. On the last note, I want to address the old Colton way. In July of 2024, FICMAC came out with a Fiscal Services Department and Human Resources Department review. Now, I know that the Colton way has its negative connotations and was strongly affiliated with classified employees, whether it was nepotism, people being unwilling to change or adapt to new policies and procedures, or whatever was attached to it. Funny thing about the nepotism part, though, is we don't do and never have done the hiring and firing for the district. But the biggest issue I've seen since the report has been the district's hard pivot away from the Colton way, which has honestly caused us to lose some of our identity. It used to be that if you put in your time, worked hard, interviewed well, you would get that promotion you worked so hard for. Those days seem long gone. If you take a look around at the supervisors and directors of most of the departments, you will notice that there are sometimes one, many times no employees that were promoted from within. Now, this sends a loud message to my members. You are not good enough. You're good enough to fill in these supervisory and management positions for 2, 4, 6 months at the convenience of the district. But when the job is actually posted, sorry, you don't qualify. It also shines a bright light on our lack of capacity building. Eric and CISO does a fantastic job facilitating the Classified Leadership Academy. But other than that, there's not really much training going on out there. It's gotten to the point where employees don't even feel that they have a chance to get promoted, so why are they going to give everything they have? It's a crappy mentality, but it's a reality. Not only that, please keep in mind, many administrators that were not promoted from within are using our district as a stepping stone to move up and move on. Now, everyone should have aspirations to move up. However, some administrators in our district do not fully embrace our district or our community. And they also forget that my fellow brothers and sisters here tonight and throughout the district are, in fact, the community. Most of my members had or have had kids in this district. You, our board members, had or have kids in this district. I have kids in this district. And the one thing we all want is our kids to get the best education possible. But sometimes administrators make supporting teachers and students difficult through their actions or inactions. With all that being said, today my members showed up to support one another. That's the power and beauty of being a union member. They also showed up to remind a lot of these administrators, we make up Colton. We are Colton. I consider it a great privilege to be able to represent my brothers and sisters, and will continue to do so with everything I have. Much like our ACE brothers and sisters, most of my classified members are in it for the long haul. The average career of a classified employee is 20 years. Teachers, the same if not longer. The average length of stay for an upper-level school district administrator is 4 years. So whatever decisions are being made today, many of them will not be around to see the full effects of those decisions. But guess who will be? ACE and CSEA. And that really goes to show the true benefits of being a member of this amazing union. Job protection, healthcare, collective bargaining, and protecting employees' rights. Unions make that happen. Speaking of unions, I know a lot of my fellow union brothers and sisters are here, and I fully support the public labor agreement / community workforce agreement, which is on today's agenda. So with that, I look forward to the continued collaboration between CSEA, ACE, MAC, and CJUSD to make this year successful and provide the best education and learning environment for our students, because that is what they deserve, and that should be everyone's main goal. Thank you, and have a great evening.
Thank you, Anthony. Appreciate the update, and I know that you've been in contact with Dr. Miranda and our team, and we'll be talking, so appreciate it, brother. Okay, this takes us to public comment for tonight's meeting, and of course, we do have quite a few speakers today, so just a quick reminder to all speakers are limited to 3 minutes per speaker. The podium is here, the microphone is here. Just go ahead and speak into the microphone. It'll turn on. You may need to give it a little tap, but it will turn on. I would ask that all public speakers address their comments to the board, and that those comments are obviously related to either an item on the agenda or not on the agenda, but within the jurisdiction of the Board of Education here at Colton Joint Unified. And of course, while we're not able to have a conversation and engage in a conversation with every speaker as a board due to the Brown Act, we do hear you. We've got your contact information on the card, and when appropriate, we will certainly follow up. Dr. Miranda and his team will follow up. So With that, we'll go ahead and begin our public comment. Again, I ask for everybody's patience. We have a number of speakers to get through, and we're going to try to be as efficient as possible, but we do want to hear everyone. So our first speaker this afternoon is Mr. Ben Pratt.
Dr. Miranda, President Flores, members of the board. My name is Benjamin Pratt, Vice President, IBW Local 477. I'm a lifelong resident here in the Inland Empire. Both of my parents went to Bloomington High School and Slover as well. We have roots in here. The IBW has been here for more than 100 years, and we're going to continue to remain and continue to provide job opportunities for the residents of this district. First of all, I want to thank the board for bringing this item forward tonight. I think it's a great opportunity. The IBW is committed to providing apprenticeship opportunities to the students and graduates of Colton Joint Unified School District. The residents of Colton, Bloomington, and Grand Terrace deserve to earn a living wage with great benefits right here where they live. The CWA represents a commitment to accomplishing these objectives by providing construction industry job opportunities right here in the district. The most important benefits of this agreement will be that locally earned wages will be reinvested in this local community through implementation of local higher standards. Parents are going to be able to work where they live. That means that carpenters, electricians, pipe fitters are going to be able to be at those soccer games, be at those baseball games, cheer practice, what have you. The workforce that rebuilds Colton Joint Unified School District will be made up of its residents. The CWA will set the standard, ensuring that no demographic or community is underrepresented. This includes women, minorities, local business, and veterans. We have an opportunity through this agreement to cultivate a partnership that can be the example in the region of how people of goodwill can still get together and do the right thing. Again, thank you very much for bringing this forward tonight.
Thank you. Our next speaker, and I just have a first name here, it's Fabian.
Can you guys hear me? Yeah, my name is Fabian. Good afternoon. I'm here to talk about the truck stops, I guess, the showers. All right. I would like everyone to first begin to think about how every single person that works showers after work. Truck drivers are no different than people that work everywhere else. You know, they're on the road days, even weeks sometimes days that they don't shower and they need to be clean because of hygiene purposes. Okay, an experience that we just had recently was COVID, right? We couldn't be next to people because we needed to keep our distance, right? We need hygiene, we need health. We need to keep that 100% all the time. You know, showers at truck stops help do that, okay? Because showers aren't always accessible to people on the road, right? There are the people that bring us stuff, people that order off of Amazon, they bring you your stuff, groceries, clothes, anything that we need, okay? From experience in my family, I have a few, all right? What I see them do as soon as they come home is take a shower. That's the first thing they always do. It's a basic necessity that we all have access to. Why shouldn't they? If not every day, it should be whenever they reach a truck stop. They are the people who drive city to city, state to state, to make sure that we as people who work and shower have our basic needs, right? So why should they have less of a right to shower than we do? All right. I like to think that the showers that they take benefit us just as much as them because, well, they need to be clean. We don't want to stay in contact with someone that doesn't shower, right? We like to smell good. We like other people to smell good because we keep a distance from them. You know, an example, and I'm not putting anybody down, is homeless people. They come up to us. They don't shower every day, but we don't like to keep a distance closer than maybe 5, 10 feet, right? So why shouldn't they? You know, that's all I got to say.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Luis Garcia.
Good evening. My name is Luis Garcia, and I want to speak briefly about the potential item in closed sessions regarding the pilot gas station in Bloomington. We respectfully ask that this matter is resolved in good faith. This business has operated with the community in mind, not just in Bloomington, but throughout the Inland Empire and the school district communities. The Colton Joint Unified School District serves a wide and diverse group of families. We want to be part of the network by supporting schools, creating safe environments, and helping students thrive. We've always been open and honest, collaborative dialogue. Let's build something strong and productive together. And I'm a truck driver myself. I've been over the road, so I've experienced some long trips where I've had difficulty trying to find truck stops that allow you to shower. And I feel like especially in California, you don't see too many truck stops that give you access to shower, which is a human, just fundamental, yeah. So also, I do want to say that when you don't shower, you tend to not be like fully conscious, and when you shower, your mind and your body tends to operate more effectively. And truck drivers make the world go round. Without us, we don't have no supplies in stores and stuff. So I think that it's time that we pay attention to truck drivers and give them the access to shower. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Dalia Zavala. Zavala, apologies.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dalia. Truck drivers are a vital part of our nation's supply chain, ensuring timely delivery of food, fuel, medical supplies, and countless of other goods we depend on daily. These drivers often spend days or even weeks on the road without access of basic amenities many of us take for granted, such as a clean, safe place to shower. Shower facilities at truck stops are not a luxury. They are a matter of public health, hygiene, and dignity. Long hours on the road can make it difficult for drivers to find regular places to freshen up. Denying or restricting access as such as amenities can lead up to unnecessary health issues, fatigue, which can turn effect to road safety for everyone, including families and school transportation routes. If the school district is involved in development discussions, community planning, or partnership with local agencies, I respectfully ask that basic needs of truck drivers be considered supporting appropriate facilities at truck stops, particularly showers. Demonstrates care, not just workers, but for the public safety, for the public health, safety, and community and well-being. They should be accessed just the basic amenities for being on the road for such long days. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Jorge Zavala.
Good evening, board members. My name is Jorge Zavala. I am a representative for the Western State Regional Council of Carpenters, and I'm here today to speak in strong support of the Community Workforce Agreement. A CWA is more than just a contract. It's a commitment to our community. It ensures that local residents have access to good paying jobs, quality programs, and safe working conditions. It's about keeping our taxpayer dollars circulating in our own economy, creating career pathways for our neighbors, and ensuring that school projects reflect public values. By setting clear hiring goals for local workers, veterans, and underrepresented groups, a CWA gives people in our community a fair shot at the opportunities created by these investments. It also ensures that workers receive fair wages, benefits, and protections so they can support their families and stay rooted here in Colton. We know that when projects are built by skilled local workers, they're built to last. CWAs also help prevent costly delays and disputes by establishing clear labor standards up front. That means our schools get done on time, on budget, and with the highest quality. This agreement is not just about construction. It's about building equity, opportunity, and pride in our community. I urge you to move forward with the Community Workforce Agreement so that every public dollar we spend works twice, once to build our infrastructure and again to build stronger futures for the people who live here. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Russell Johnson.
Thank Thank you, trustees. Want to thank you for your time tonight. My name is Russell Johnson. I'm with the Associated Builders and Contractors. We often go by the name ABC. So who's ABC? We're an association of contractors that are vested in workforce development. So we have a training facility right here in Riverside, often from your school district for our apprenticeship program. We've got over 1,300 students enrolled in our craft and training and apprenticeship programs that we train at in Riverside, Anaheim, and the San Fernando area. We're urging you not to move forward with a PLA. We want to share with you that there's some challenges, and it hurts local workers and local apprentices. First, there's consequences of PLAs. There's cost increases. You're looking at cost increases as high as 18%. That's because you're going to have reduced bidders. You're going to have many non-union contractors just choose not to bid. And I need to remind you that over 83% of the workforce in California, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, is non-union in California when you come to construction. So when you lose that ability to utilize part of your labor, your costs go up. Also, it forces contractors to change their business model, and that business model is really impactful. That means you're going to have to bring in people from the union hall that aren't part of your workforce. They don't know your protocols. They don't know your safety standards. Leads to more injuries, leads to more problems. So contractors choose not to bid. Last, or I want to continue, it breaks pipelines to train tomorrow's workforce. The folks that are here that will tell you about the value of an apprenticeship program. No one has seen an apprenticeship program fail that delivers a good career and a good job. But there's non-union apprenticeship programs too, with local apprentices. If you move forward with a PLA, I have yet to see a PLA on a school construction project that allows all state and federally approved apprenticeship programs to provide apprentices, especially when they're local. Yet to see it because they're shut out. You're going to deliver less projects because your costs are going to go up. That means that you might have to tell the taxpayers that the cost for the projects is going to go up. Instead of the improvements you need, you're going to hit some shortfalls. Last, if you move forward with a PLA, you're going to shut out local contractors, their workforce, and I urge you to check with your staff. I'm sure they've heard from local contractors who've told you that they are less likely to bid if a project labor agreement is put in place. So I urge you, don't move forward with a PLA. Don't shut out local workers and local contractors that are currently working with you today, or local apprentices. Last, please keep dialoguing with us, because irregardless of your decision—
Sorry, Mr. Johnson, that's your time. We have a lot of
to
speakers.
be a resource to
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. Our next speaker is Mandy Kaur. I apologize.
Okay, I'm here to speak on behalf of the Jandi Group and Mr. Jandi. I wanted to thank you guys allowing me the opportunity to speak this evening. This proposal that we're proposing is not a business proposal, it's a personal one also. And a heartfelt appeal from someone who have seen the challenges and the hopes of the communities and the schools around this area. I am deeply involved in supporting public education. Over the past 5 years, I have served on the PTA board on my children's school. I have served as a treasurer, president, and currently serving as a vice president. As a volunteer, I have seen the struggles and sacrifices made daily by teachers, administrators, staff, and families. I have seen how hard everyone works, often with limited resources. I also witnessed the financial strains that the district are under, and I know there are proposed development like the pilot project, shower initiation, might be met with some doubtfulness. But I'm here to ask you to consider the benefit for a partnership that brings the projects together. I'd like to share a story with how our local businesses and our PTA got involved in solving some of the challenges that we saw at our school. One of them, which was a low literacy rate and the lack of basic enrichment program, and we realized we couldn't do anything alone. So we reached out to our local business community, and what we discovered that many business owners were eager to help, they just didn't know how to. Together, we launched a program called Reading Buddies, which paired struggling readers with trained background check volunteer employees from businesses. And each week, the volunteers visited the school, worked one-on-one with the student, helping them build confidence, fluency, and comprehensions. And these students were, some of the students that were in 5th grade, and they were unable to read even at the 1st grade level. This program changed lives. Not only did it support our student academically, but also created a relationship between the school and the local community. At the end of the year, the student also got an opportunity to visit the business, taking a field trip to learn what they do there. And they came back inspired and curious, asking questions like, how does a manager do? How do I start my own business? This is the kind of the opportunity that John D. Group wants to provide to the Coltrane School District. You are entrusted with the responsibility of what is best for staff, student, community. Please consider the benefit that lies in a partnership. This isn't just about a gas station, it's about how a community-minded business can help fill the gap left by budget cuts and resources shortage, not through words, but through consistent action, financial support, and presence. We are ready to invest not just in property, but in people.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, appreciate it.
And your school.
I apologize. I have to keep everybody to 3 minutes. We hear you. Just given the number of speakers that we have, we want to be equitable and fair. So I apologize. I'm not trying to be rude, but I will have to end your comments at 3 minutes. So thank you. Our next speaker is Alicia Vega.
Okay, good evening. All right, bear with me. I'm not a public speaker. All right, good afternoon. My name is Alicia, and I was here a few nights ago speaking on this topic. And I come tonight feeling a little disappointed that the shower for our truck drivers is being denied to this extreme. I'm going to go out on a limb and say probably everyone here goes grocery shopping or orders from Amazon. I'm going to catch my breath again. Or from other sites, and understands that these products are brought to us for our convenience by our truck drivers. I'm also going to go out on a limb here and assume that everyone this morning took a shower to start their day fresh. So I guess I feel a little clueless as to why some deny something as simple as showers. The truck stop itself is already there, which means the clientele is already there. Sorry, it's very nervous. Now they just need their proper hygiene. And if you ask me, we need a lot more facilities throughout the area. Mr. Chandy is a businessman, but he is not just business. This is personal. We all have family members who are truck drivers. We know the importance of these rest stops. I personally like to know that I'm not on the road with a driver who has had the time to rest, reset, and be more alert. I truly hope that you can put yourself in the driver's shoes and have some compassion for this matter. You also heard from my son-in-law. I spoke 2 nights ago. That was my son-in-law, the truck driver, a little bit ago. And he's had a rough time on the road, not being able to get to a truck stop and running out of hours. So it is a problem. And I hope everyone can kind of see that. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Jocelyn Lopez.
Good evening, Mr. Flores, trustees, and Superintendent Miranda. My name is Jocelyn Lopez, and truckers are the backbone of our economy and communities, tirelessly delivering goods across the country. Their job is demanding, requiring long hours on the road away from everything used on a daily basis. Truckers spend long hours on the road and may not have access to regular bathing facilities. Showers at travel centers like the Pilot will allow them to maintain personal hygiene, which is crucial for their health and well-being. Most importantly, the neighborhood. I hope we can resolve this issue, as this will only bring positive investment rather than an issue for the district. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Brianna Leon.
Hello, good evening. My name is Brianna Leon Torres, and I was a former student at the Colton Joint Unified District, and I'm here to speak about the issue at Pilot Travel Center not being allowed to have showers. Excuse me. These showers are to provide truckers with a place to reset as well as for others, and for blue-collar workers as well. This is not meant to cause an issue to the district. During my last couple years at Bloomington High School, Pilot Travel Center, owned by Mr. Chandy, was opened. It gave me and a lot of other students an opportunity to work and go to school at the same time due to its convenience. Working there has taught me so much and has helped me in many different ways, and I can assure you that this place does not mean any harm. In fact, they would like to create a better place for everyone. They have always worked with my school schedule and have even helped me with math homework occasionally. Thanks to them, I have learned management, finance, and how to run a business. All thanks to Mr. Chandy and his location. This Pilot Travel Center isn't just a business. It's a way to help the community by giving job opportunities, helping parents who are on the go and stop by, as well as providing convenience to truck drivers and blue-collar workers who don't always have a place to go home to. They run this place 24/7, 365 days a week, so that truckers have their go-to spot. We ask to reconsider on allowing this facility to open showers for further convenience, for a better experience for those who put food on our plate. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Adriana Acosta.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Adriana Valencia, and I'm speaking on behalf of the installations of showers at truck stops. Growing up, my grandma was my primary caretaker due to my parents and grandpa owning a trucking company. My grandpa is now retired due to the fact that it was hard for him to maintain his healthy ways. My grandpa would spend days or even weeks without showering once. This caused his health to decline. In his eyes, showering wasn't just to smell good or feel clean, it was to maintain a healthy and clean lifestyle. I wish the Board of Trustees understand this. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Cesar Martinez.
Good evening, CJUSD. My name is Cesar Martinez, and I'm speaking on behalf of showers at truck stops. And so, growing up, my dad would always take me with him on his long trips. On the way to our different destinations and stops, we would always get down at a truck stop for some snacks. Though I can't remember what snacks I would get, I'm still able to remember the stench that other truckers brought in. When people ask me if I'd like to follow my father's footsteps, I tell them no. I would say no because of the impression that other truckers had left on me when I was little. The different smells. I believe all travel stations should have showers because it would help improve the impression on other truckers as well as my father. It will help show that the industry cares about the well-beings of our truckers and that they're committed to providing them with their essential needs. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Natanya Del Real. Is there a Natanya Del Real? No? Okay, I'm going to pull that one aside for now, and we'll come back to see. She may have stepped out. And I apologize on this. There's just a single name, and it's a little bit tough to read. So if I get it wrong, please forgive me. Is it Harshdeep? It's just a single name, cursive. I apologize. Again, it could be an F. Harshdeep? Marshdeep? Okay, if we get to the end of public comment and your name isn't called, if you wouldn't mind just coming up to Ms. Medina, and we'll get you going. I apologize. Does help to put a first and last name, though, folks. Next speaker is Jadeep Man.
President Flores, trustees, and Superintendent Miranda, my name is JD Mon. I speak to you tonight hoping for resolution and forward progress. The matter involving the pilot gas station in Bloomington, which may be addressed in closed session, deserves the thoughtful and fair attention. Mr. Chundi's business is rooted in this community and serves the wider Inland Empire. He's not just investing in gas and retail, he's investing in the people, and he wants to be part of the solution in Colton Joint Unified School District. Across Colton, Grand Terrace, and beyond, we are ready to work with the district to support schools, improve safety, and enhance opportunities for students. We hope the board will give direction to move forward in good faith. Let's clear up any past concerns and focus on building a future partnership that strengthens our shared communities. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Our next speaker is Paras Dup Singh. Again, I apologize if that was mispronounced. Okay, thank you.
Good evening, President Flores, Trustee, Superintendent Miranda. My name is Parasdeep Singh. I would like to speak on a matter that may come up in closed session concerning the pilot gas station located in Bloomington. This business is owned by Mr. Chandi and has proven itself to be consistent and valuable presence in Bloomington, Inland Empire, and communities that make up to Colton Joint Unified School District. In a time when many companies are moving out of state, here is one choosing to stay, to invest, and to partner with our public institutions. We want to support students, we want to support teachers, and want to do our part to ensure safe and thriving school in places like Colton, Grand Terrace, and Bloomington. Please consider the possibilities of resolving this matter with openness and collaboration. The reward of strongness partnership will benefit everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, appreciate that. Our next speaker is Riptaman Man.
Does. Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Rip the Man. As you consider matters in a closed session tonight, including the pilot gas station in Bloomington, I ask you to also consider the long-term vision of what's possible between a forward-thinking district and a locally rooted business like the Chandi organization. We're not here to create challenges for the district, we're here to create value. We want to support student success, whether it's through sponsorships, internships, community events, or funding for school projects. Businesses like ours can be powerful allies in education when given the opportunity. The Colton Joint Unified School District serves some of the most vibrant communities in the Inland Empire. We want to be part of lifting those communities, not by standing on the sidelines, but by partnering with you directly to support education. This can be a model for how schools and businesses work together, not just to coexist, but to uplift one another. Let's not miss this opportunity to show students that public institutions and private organizations can work together for the common good. All of us here get to take a shower when we get home tonight. So why are the people that put food on our plates, clothes on our back, and everything like that not allowed to do that while working? I think if we allow for them to do that, it teaches proper hygiene and allows them to be within their humanity as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Gershnajabaj Man. Sorry again, I apologize. Yes. No. I'm just going to get it wrong. I apologize. Last name is, yeah, M-A-A-N. Any other speakers? No? Okay. All right, we'll put that off to the side. Next speaker is Anna Salvador.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ana Salvador, and I'm here speaking in behalf of Pilot, located on Santa Ana and Cedar, and on behalf of the truck drivers. As we are discussing about shower facilities at truck stops, I would like to highlight about the teaching of Jesus Christ. In order for board members who have in the past served as teachers to help them understand better. Jesus often demonstrated his teachings through acts, a service to put the needs of others before their own, and to serve those in need. This involves commitment and living a life of love, service, and righteousness. The golden rule, as Jesus Christ emphasized, treat others the way you will want to be treated. This implies to all of us, and more to the indeed trustees that had chosen the path of public service. Therefore, requesting before the Board of Trustees to consider the need of our dignity. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next speaker is Dilbar Singh.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here to talk about the pilot situation with the showers that's going on in Bloomington. I'm a local business owner, and I have a trucking company, a lot of drivers, and they always go out there, deliver shipments and stuff, but they're always having a hard time to take a shower when their shipments are delayed, and they have to spend the night there, and they're always having a tough time to wake up in the morning, shower, go to work. You know, I think they deserve a shower because they, keep your stores full. They bring food to your city. They bring supplies to your city. So that's a very basic need they should have. That's all I'm requesting, that you guys take a look into this matter. That's about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Dharmendra Singh.
My name is Dharmendra Singh. I am here regarding the pilot gas station in Bloomington, a matter I understand may be addressed in a closed session. Mr. Chandi, business has been a long-standing part of the Inland Empire and is deeply committed to the community. We are not just a business operating in Bloomington. We all down here are stakeholders who want to invest directly into the success of the Colton Joint Unified School Districts. This partnership can do more than just coexist. It can enhance the district's mission. We want to support your school with resources, funding, partnerships, scholarships, and even career pathway for the students interested in the internships, business managements, or vocational trainings. We believe that the local business should be a part of the educational ecosystem. By working together, we can build stronger, safer, and better equipment schools that reflects the pride and the potential of community like Colton, Grand Terrace, and the Bloomington City. We respectfully ask the district to work with us in a good faith, under the full directions of the board, and to see this not as a conflict, but as a shared opportunity to uplift the districts, not burden. Thank you for your time, the entire CJUSD team. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Gabriel Cimental.
Here to talk about the showers for the truck drivers for the gas station, and also I am a truck driver, so life on the road isn't always easy, but I've learned that just taking care of myself matters just as much as it takes to take care of my truck. Staying clean, just keeping my cab in order, and looking after my health makes me feel human out of here, like just makes me feel just like a really good, fresh person just to be on the road and be able to do my job in a certain way that I need to be. Because no one wants to be in a cab sitting there for hours just delivering packages to other people and warehouses and stuff like that, smelling like, just something that's not supposed to be there. So I think showers would be really nice to have at truck stops, So I appreciate your guys' time. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Regina Lopez. Do we have Ms. Lopez here? Oh, okay, thank you.
Hello. Okay. Hi, I'm Regina Lopez. So my matter was for the pilot, for there to be showers. So as a wife of a truck driver, I know that miles can be long and the days can even be longer. When my husband finally gets a chance to shower after days on the road, it's more than just getting clean. It's the moment to feel refreshed, human and cared for. This simple shower washed away the road dust, the fatigue, and the stress. It's a small thing, but it makes a world a difference in his health, his mood, his spirit. Out there, a hot shower isn't just a luxury, it's a lifetime. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Next speaker is Destiny Clark.
Hi, my name is Destiny Clark, and I'm speaking on the issue with Pilot with the showers. It might not seem a big deal to some people for truckers. A clean, hot shower can mean the world. My husband spends days and even weeks on the road. He's in and out of cities, driving long hours, and dealing with traffic, weather, and tight deadlines. It's not easy. When he finally pulls into a truck stop, one of the first things he looks forward to is a shower. It's not just about getting clean. It helps him relax, feel human, and take a break from the stress of the road. A good shower can boost his mood, help him rest better, and make him safer on the road. It keeps him healthy and gives him a small sense of comfort when he's so far from home. So to the people that work hard to keep those showers clean and running, thank you. And to everyone out there, let's not forget how something so small can make such a big difference in a trucker's life. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Genesis Garriaga.
Hi, good evening, everybody. I hope you all are well. My name is Genesis, and I was speaking on behalf of Pilot. As an aunt to 3 boys who are, one is a truck driver, and then the other 2 are going to be truck drivers, I just want to share my concern that for them and their well-being, I believe that you guys should reconsider being able to let Pilot have their showers. I don't know if anybody has gone a day without a shower, how you guys would feel. Just having to sit there and just wait because you can't be able to access a shower. Also, I just want to, we appreciate everything and your leadership and your ongoing commitment. Give me 1 second, I'm sorry. Also, as a concerned and engaged member of the community as well, I wish to express the collective expectation that the board continues to uphold the highest standards of integrity, transparency, and fairness in all decision-making. I hope you guys consider this, and we appreciate everything. And thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Tracy Ibarra.
Good evening, members of the board. I would like to thank you for giving me this opportunity. I am currently an employee at CJUSD, and I am very, very thankful to be there. I've had the opportunity to be there since my son, 9 years old, Abel, started at Ruth Grimes Elementary School. Now let me tell you, I have seen my kid flourish, but I have also seen our staff suffer. I've seen our kids suffer because we don't have enough help there to help the kids who are falling behind. As a volunteer parent, I've seen it firsthand. And I went to every meeting and I asked, please bring that support for our teachers and for our students who are falling behind, not through third grade. Let's not wait to third grade. Let's hit kinder. Let's hit first. Let's hit second, because that is important. Sitting here for the first time in a meeting, being present with my 3 kids and hearing that there's truck drivers in here that are gonna bring money to our school. Not only am I worried about my job with the cuts, with the budget cuts here, am I gonna have a job? I don't know. Are the truckers gonna bring us more money to our schools? Sounds like it's gonna make a great impact. The opportunity of having the truck drivers take a shower, I hear them say, wow, you know, a fresh start, a fresh start. If I can paint a picture really quick, it would be, let's go back to COVID, when we shut our doors down to everybody, when we were able to drive through a drive-through because you had a car. But our truck drivers, that we were so there just standing and honoring them for doing what they did to bring product to our stores, I'm gonna tell you, let's honor them in this moment and let them bring the money that we need for our schools, the funding that we need for our schools. Yes, it is a shower for them, but it's also money for my 3 kids that are sitting there that will continue to be at CJUSD. I'm a concerned parent, I am a concerned employee, I'm a concerned union member, and I hope that you take all the truck drivers' consideration and anything that can bring revenue to our district. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Chris Martinez.
Good evening. One second here. Good afternoon. I'm Chris Martinez. I'm a representative for the Southwest Regional Council of Carpenters out of Local 1607 Millwright Division. I am here with my union brothers and sisters in support of the CWA. I currently live in the district. I attended Terrace View, Terrace Hills, and Colton. I now have 2 children, which go to Terrace View, and I appreciate everything you guys are doing there. It's awesome. Oh, sorry, I'm a little nervous. I mean, I'm home and I'm actually speaking on behalf of the union. The Carpenters Union has done nothing but equivalent to Colton Unified School District. They gave me the apprenticeship program and led me to prosper and get further on in my life, which you guys have done the same for me. Being able to work here at home and supporting this agreement holds a big place in my heart. Being able to work at home and be able to be home on time and spend that time with the family goes a real long way for me. I hope you guys are in support, and yeah, that's it. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Omar Kobian.
Good evening. Good evening, President Flores, board members, and Dr. Miranda. My name is Omar Kobian. I'm here representing over 300 union carpenters that live within the school district and have kids that live in the school district, and over 6,400 members that call San Bernardino County home. You know, 2025 has been a year filled with a lot of uncertainty, division, and unfortunately a lot of misinformation that have turned people against each other. And we've heard some of that misinformation today. While the real beneficiaries are millionaire developers, contractors that continue to profit off working class. Now more than ever, we need policies like CWAs that uplift and protect the working class. Policies that ensure workers are paid fairly and receive benefits that they've earned, including health care. I'm sure you received the emails from individuals like Mr. Johnson and other keyboard warriors who rely on scare tactics and half-truths to oppose community workforce agreements. But let's look at the facts. The two largest school districts of the Inland Empire passed community workforce agreement, both San Bernardino and Riverside Unified, despite getting bombarded with these similar type of emails, which you soon will see, unfortunately. Even just this week, the city of Hoopa Valley tonight is actually voting on the same thing you guys are. Fontana Unified School District passed a resolution instructing their superintendent 3 weeks ago to start negotiations with the carpenters and the building trades. So it's something that the Inland Empire has been needing for a long time. These are type of agreements you see in LA, Orange County. Why not us? Why not give back to our community? Colton Joint Unified has the opportunity to lead by example by supporting local workers, building pathways for students into a stable career, and ensuring that public dollars are invested back into the community through fair, transparent, and accountable labor standards. I want to thank you for your time. I usually don't have a script, but I wanted to make sure I covered all the bases and let the board know that it's time. It's time we make a change, and you guys ain't the only district and city that's finally deciding to put community first. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cobian. That was the last comment card that I had for this evening. I'm going to do one last call for Natanya Del Real in case she stepped out. If not, then that's the final speaker that I have. So we're going to go ahead and close public comment. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate that. There was a lot of speakers. We hear you, and we greatly appreciate the feedback from the community and interested parties. So with that, Dr. Miranda, we'll go ahead and move on to the next item on our agenda, which is our administrative presentation for this evening. Item 4.1 is the Public Labor Agreement Community Workforce Agreement presentation. I'm going to go ahead and introduce, do I want to kick it off to Mr. Fromm first? Do you want to do a quick introduction of our guest today who's going to lead us in the presentation?
Thank you, Mr. Flores. I would like to introduce our partner here, Tom Kovaches with ALR, to give a presentation of updates where we're at with the Community Workforce Agreement. So I'm going to turn it over to Tom.
Terrific. Good evening, Board President Flores, board members, Superintendent Dr. Miranda, and members of the audience. My name is Tom Kovacic. I'm a partner in the law firm of Atkinson, Anderson, Lawyer, Root, and Romo. I've practiced construction labor law for 45 years. I've negotiated many of the master labor agreements between the building trades and the carpenters and contractors throughout Southern California. Over the last 15 years, I've been intimately involved in negotiating community workforce agreements, project labor agreements, community benefit agreements with school districts throughout the state of California, primarily Orange, Los Angeles, Ventura, San Diego County, some in Northern California. I negotiated the Riverside Unified School District agreement. The one thing that I've taken away from negotiating and considering CWAs is it's unique to your particular district. What is important to your district? It's not what a neighboring district has, it's what you're interested in. You're interested in the highest possible local hires, for example. You're interested in opening up the apprenticeship programs to your students, veterans, and graduates. So having said that, what is a project labor agreement? Pretty straightforward. It's called a lot of different things. We consider it a community benefits agreement or a community workforce agreement, a CWA. And what it is an agreement that you have with a union or unions that covers a particular project or projects that sets uniform standards for the construction. In other words, everybody is subject to the same drug testing. Everyone's subject to the same grievance arbitration, so you're able to resolve disputes quickly. Everybody is subject to the underlying collective bargaining agreement so that they can predict what their labor costs are going to be on a particular project. It provides for non-discrimination against any protected class. And it also, well, I mentioned the drug policy. Greg, how do you advance this? So common questions. Why are we considering a CWA? That's what I'm going to address in a moment. What are the arguments for and against the CWA? You just heard a flavor of the two sides of the benefits or the detriments of a CWA. Third, what terms are typically included in a CWA? Do CWAs exclude non-union contractors? Now, I'm going to repeat this over and over again. It does not exclude any otherwise responsive and responsible contractor from bidding the work. There is no exclusion. The only obligation is that they must agree to the terms of the CWA. Can a CWA be implemented on a single project or projects? Absolutely. Typically, we attempt to apply it to a bond program on particular larger projects, which make more sense than, say, smaller projects, but that's a subject for negotiations. And finally, we'll address the negotiation process, drafting, et cetera. Why consider a CWA? Well, we look at the role of the school board is to ensure that school districts are responsive to the values, beliefs, and priorities of their communities. So they fulfill this role by performing 5 major responsibilities. And this is what I look at in terms of you considering whether you're going to move forward on negotiating a CWA. Can you set the direction? Are you going to establish an effective and efficient structure, a CWA that you can live with? Will you provide support? There's going to be a cost associated with a CWA, so you need to be prepared for that. We'll talk about that in a moment. Ensure accountability. To me, all the CWAs I've negotiated, that's the one that's nearest and dearest to my heart. How effective is it? How many of our students, graduates, local hire, or local residents are being employed on our projects? How many apprentices are being enrolled into their programs? Both the ABC program, apprenticeship program, and the building trades and the carpenters have fantastic apprenticeship programs. Doesn't cost the apprentice a dime. You can spend $400,000 in college tuition, or you can go through one of these apprenticeship programs, and you actually earn money because you're working as you're studying, and it's not costing you a dime. But we need to hold them accountable. And again, providing community leadership and advocates for children, the school district, public schools. Again, getting the word out that the CWA has benefits for local residents, for veterans, for graduates. Additional goals for the CWA. This is the big one. Costs. We heard 18%. The unions will say they save you money because they're efficient, they're qualified workers. There's studies out there, and I don't get into the studies because all the studies are funded by either one side or the other. You know, it's statistics, you know, it's however you want to spin the statistics. It's a decision you have to make as a board. Are the other benefits to the CWA worth the potential of additional costs? I can tell you from experience, from negotiating San Diego Unifieds back in 2008 to Riverside Unifieds, will there be a little bit of disruption? Some of your non-union contractors initially may not bid because they're afraid of it. But once they understand it, they typically come back and they'll start bidding your work. But there is going to be a little bit of a bump in the road, I'm being honest with you. Additional goals for the CWA. Support preferential hiring of district residents and contractors and vendors. Keeps local dollars local, which creates an economic force multiplier. You've heard that tonight. Keeps residents of San Bernardino County close to home while they work, better quality of life. Promotes social equity through targeted apprenticeship hiring of disadvantaged and underrepresented Colton Unified and San Bernardino County communities. Develop a more skilled county workforce, reduce unemployment, better pay for workers, which ensures living wage, raise the standard of living, which means less dependence on local aid. CWAs typically have a 30% local resident goal. You're hitting that already. We went back and we did some studies on some of your past projects, and you're doing a terrific job of employing local residents, but it could be better. And if the unions are willing to work with you so that we can increase that to 40, 50% local hires, as you define local hire. You may define a local hire as anybody who's in the Inland Empire, or you may be defining them as everyone in your footprint of the 3 communities. So there's different ways in negotiations that we can address the local hire issue. But I like to include veterans. I like to include graduates of any of your high schools, regardless of where they live, that they're going to be given priority. Legally, there's no question, the law is clear now that CWAs are legal as long as you negotiate them properly. I don't need to get into the elements that are required because they're pretty standard. No discrimination, quick resolution of disputes through a grievance arbitration mechanism, common drug policy. Those are standard terms we have in the CWAs. Now, let's look at the arguments in favor of CWA. CWAs on public projects offer a guarantee of labor harmony, an agreement to avoid strikes, and speedily resolve all labor disputes during the construction of the project. That's major. Through the grievance arbitration mechanism, disputes don't mushroom into big problems. If a contractor is not paying, or there's some issue about whether workers being paid the correct rate, it's resolved very quickly. Now, these arguments are not necessarily my opinions. These are the arguments that the proponents of CWAs make. CWAs keep a project on time and on budget by guaranteeing wage costs for the life of the project. That's true. The wage rates allow for more accurate bids and keep the project on budget. The work rules and no strike provisions prevent cost overruns due to delays. Now, the opponents will say we have prevailing wages. Why do you need another layer? Well, the argument that the proponents would make would be, under the CWA, every contractor has an obligation to provide fringe benefits to their workers: medical, pension, dental, vision. And I can tell you from experience, the fringe benefit programs by the unions are top-notch. They are the Cadillac version of fringe benefits. Without a CWA, a contractor who is non-union can avoid paying the fringe benefits by putting everything on the worker's check, which is terrific for the worker, short term. There's no pension, there's no health and welfare, but they're putting the money on the check. Prevailing wage allows a non-union contractor to do that. The CWA would prevent it. CWAs provide for the use of qualified skilled workers. There's 20-odd separate building trades unions and the carpenters. They all have their jurisdictional lines. They all train their journeymen in that particular craft. They stay in their lane. A non-union contractor might have a worker doing electrician's work one day, then coming back and doing carpenter's work the next day, paying them the correct prevailing wage, and it's perfectly legal, but are you getting the highest quality? Because with the building trades and the carpenters, they have to stay in their lane. They need to stay within their jurisdiction. CWAs attempt to require safer working conditions, thereby reducing accidents and workers' compensation claims. The added layer of protection you have with the CWA is you have the business agents and the stewards who are monitoring the work. So you had that additional layer of oversight to make sure that the working conditions are safe. Union apprenticeship programs offer skilled workers at lower costs and save money in the long run and ensure that local workers are hired and trained in a specific trade, safety, and anti-drug programs. Can't say enough about the apprenticeship programs. They're terrific. But opening their doors to your graduates, veterans, and local residents is the key, that we need to hold them accountable. The non-union apprenticeship programs are just as good. One of the downsides that they will argue is that their apprenticeship program may not be utilized under the CWA. The speaker was incorrect. I've negotiated terms that allowed non-union apprentices under a PLA, so it's possible. Next, CWAs foster cooperation between the construction workforce and management because of pre-job conferences and set rules and expectations. Under the CWA, we resolve problems up front before the ground is broken. If there's an issue, it's resolved at the pre-job conference. Is it carpenter's work? Is it electrician's work? That's all worked out. It just speeds things up. CWAs provide for a division of labor between trades that provide benefits such as formal apprenticeship training programs, a network of referrals from union hiring halls, labor discipline, and higher skill developed by specialization. That speaks for itself because each union has its jurisdictional boundaries and they stay within those boundaries. They will argue that their skilled workers are more efficient than the non-union. That's subject to argument, but we do know that electricians out of the IBEW aren't going to be pouring concrete on one day while they're pulling wire on another day. So they stay within their jurisdiction. And that raises the next point. CWAs on public projects can minimize costs and increase efficiency and quality, promote labor management stability, and promote compliance with applicable legal requirements. They address broad public and policy interests and not just the narrow interests of builders, unions, and workers. In other words, they're trying to create a partnership with the contractors to speed things up so that work is done on time and on budget. CWAs systematize and formalize labor terms which promote efficiency and lower costs. As I mentioned, they have common grievance arbitration provisions, common drug testing. The wages are all set forth. They're not the same, but the wages in the underlying collective bargaining agreement. CWAs reduce the risk of construction delays from worker shortages. The union has an active hiring hall. If they have available workers, they would be dispatched. So if there's a worker shortage, a contractor may be able to get more workers from the particular hiring hall. But what's important for us is that any local resident automatically moves to the top of the line and is dispatched ahead of everybody else. And those are the terms that we need to make the CWA viable. CWAs provide legal benefits with respect to skilled and trained workforce and formalize a structure to establish local hire goals. Again, we really need to be aggressive in terms of local hire. We call it stretch goals. Maybe they don't meet it, but we try. If we can get 50% of the man hours being local hires, that'd be terrific. Now let's talk about the arguments against a CWA. Number one, they're not needed. You have prevailing wages. That's true. And typically the union wages and fringe benefits are the prevailing wage. Number two, CWAs reduce the opportunity for non-union contractors to compete for work on a project, because even if the work is awarded to them, the contractor must operate under union rules and requirements which undermine the efficiencies and economics of the non-union contractor that give them a competitive advantage. That's a double-edged sword. Having them stay within the lanes of their particular jurisdiction is actually a positive because you're getting qualified, skilled workers. The non-union contractor is saying, I need to be able to move my people around, have them do electrician's work one day and carpenter's work another day. That may work all the time, but it's an issue that you have to consider. CWAs tend to restrict the number of bidders on a project and reduce the savings to the public that would accrue if non-union contractors could follow their customary methods. That's the argument. There's nothing really that supports it. You've got studies with both sides. One side says, yes, that does occur. I can tell you from my experience, there will be somewhat of a disruption initially because non-union contractors simply don't see these project labor agreements or CWAs, and they may not be willing to take a shot at it. But once they realize it's not that much of a change, they typically start bidding. CWAs tend to discriminate against non-union workers by requiring them to either join a union or pay union dues. We have not negotiated that term in 5 years. Under the Janus decision, the non-union employees do not have to join the union. Non-union contractors generally must also continue to pay their regular employee benefits plus union fees and contributions. That's a legitimate concern. And if you just bear with me for a second, I'll give you an example. Contractor has a Kaiser plan for his employees, and it may cost him, for family coverage, maybe $5,000 a month. When that contractor works on a CWA job, it's going to take that employee 1 quarter working before he or she gains eligibility for medical. So the non-union contractor will argue that he has to carry both the medical in-house plus pay into the fringe benefits. They call that the double fringe benefit problem. It's an issue. There's no getting around it. But some non-union contractors do not provide even medical, so it's an opportunity for that non-union contractor, those employees, to earn medical. CWAs increase the cost of construction projects even if the projects otherwise require the payment of prevailing wages. California prevailing wage laws set wage levels on public projects, and CW wages may be set higher than the prevailing wage. We will negotiate a term that says we will not pay more than prevailing wage. So that issue would not apply on any CWA that I've negotiated in the last 10 years. The district will incur costs in administrating the CWA with a CWA coordinator. No question about it. Someone has to monitor the CWA, monitor the local hire statistics, make sure everyone signs all the appropriate documents. It'll cost you either a percentage of your bond on that particular project, or if you purchase the administrative cost a la carte, it still is going to cost you 6 figures. So it's an expense. There's no question about it, no getting around it. I would like the unions to contribute, but I've had no success in 15 years in getting them to contribute to the CWA coordinator. Possibility for walkout strikes and walkouts still exist. That's all academic. That hasn't happened in 30 years on a school district project. CWAs result in rigid division of labor and work rules that slow down production. Non-union workforce rules allow for assignment of work across trade lines. Again, it's a plus and a minus. Use of laborers to move materials, employment of generalized helpers, and the setting of hourly wages based on specific market requirements. Everyone has to pay prevailing wage, so you don't have that luxury. CWAs discourage non-union bidders who represent at least 80% of the construction industry, particularly minority or women-owned businesses. This results in fewer bids and the potential for overbidding. More competitive bidding encourages contractors to bid the lowest possible cost. There's no guarantee that a particular scope will generate enough interest to have a competitive bid. we could have language in there that says, if we do not receive 3 bids from reputable, responsible contractors, or there is a bust in the bid of more than a percentage, this board has the discretion to go back out the bid with or without the CWA. So there are methods where we could have a fail-safe if there is only one bidder and you need to go back out the bid, but that's something that's subject to negotiations. This is just one I throw in there because it always bites school districts. Your inspectors and surveyors and field soils and material inspectors will be subject to the CWA. It always takes staff by surprise. Contracts for construction should be awarded solely on the basis of merit and not union affiliation. Like I said, there is no restriction. Anyone can bid. If the CWA requires that all employees be hired through the union hiring hall and the non-union contractor has a permanent group of employees, the contractor may only use up to 3 to 5 of his employees, and all others must be dispatched from the union. This can create costly organizational and management problems, especially for smaller contractors. That's the core employee issue. Typically what happens out here is the first worker by a contractor is his own, the second is from the union, a third is his own, the fourth is from the union, up to 5 core employees. Thereafter, all other workers must be dispatched from the union. Typical terms that we have in a CWA: no strike, no lockout. The particular contractor agrees to the collective bargaining agreement for that particular craft, and that the contractor will hire from the union hiring hall, except for his core employees, unless the hiring hall cannot dispatch workers to him. Contractors have discretion in selecting their subcontractors. Contractors retain exclusive authority to plan, direct, and control their operations. Contractors decide the number and types of employees required for the work. Contractors assign and schedule work and hire supervisors at their discretion. New employees within a certain period of time pay dues to the union for representing their interests. After Janus, though, we've not had to do that. Contractors have the right to reject any applicant referred to them by the union. So if the union dispatches unqualified workers, the contractor can reject them. Again, just to put this myth to bed once and for all, do CWAs exclude non-union contractors? No. They can bid just as anyone else can, as long as they agree to be bound by the terms of the CWA. Can a CWA be implemented on a single project? Yes. Typically, though, you would implement it on your bond program on particular projects, or any other project that you believe would be helpful to be subject to a CWA. How long will the process take? Well, I believe you have an action item with respect to the resolution. If that resolution is passed, then the next step would be to develop our proposal, get input from stakeholders. That would take maybe a month, and then prepare a report to the board as to what the proposal is going to be, and then start scheduling negotiations. So that would all occur probably within 60 to 90 days. So that concludes my comments. Any questions?
Thank you. First of all, that was an incredibly detailed presentation. Not only obviously the legal implications, but just your experience really helps, because there's a lot that goes into the process that we need to take into consideration. So what I'm going to do is, I'm sure there's lots of questions. I have lots of questions, but let me kick it over to my colleagues to see if anybody has any initial comments or questions for Mr. Kovacic. If not, I'm happy to jump into it. You guys know this is something I enjoy doing, so. and I'm sure there'll be lots of questions. Let me just start with, and I appreciate comments with respect to the difference between prevailing wage, Davis-Bacon, and CWA. So I just want to make sure there's some points of clarification that I want to make sure that I understand as we look at this, because in my experience, prevailing wage really focuses on just ensuring that folks are paid fairly, that there is a rate, if you will, that is calculated based on the trade, the work that is being done. But it doesn't necessarily require, demand, or ensure that the person doing that work is certified and trained in that work. Is that correct? Yeah. Sorry, the microphone's, yep, a little bit closer. There you go. Give it a tap there, Tina, if you don't mind. Yeah. I think you're a little too tall for our microphone, Tom. Do we have a handheld that might work better?
It's not his fault, he's tall.
Oh, that's right. You can empathize, Brandon. Let's give him we'll give you the handheld there. That way it's you don't have to lean over so much.
That's a good question. Under the prevailing wage statute.
Got to flip that one on. We got to make sure that one's on. Closer to the...
Testing.
Yep, you got to hold it closer to you. Sorry about that. Jesus. We don't know. It's, Tom, I think it's you. I'm just going to say it might just... I think your time is up.
Testing. Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
How about now?
There we go.
All right. You are correct. Under the prevailing wage statute, they look at the tasks being performed, and those tasks result in a prevailing wage for that work. It doesn't necessarily make any determinations as to whether that worker is qualified. And the example I give is if I was hired by someone to do electrical work, and I have no clue what I'm doing, I would still have to be paid as an electrician. So the CWA adds that additional layer of ensuring that the workers are qualified because they're coming out of the different locals.
Thank you for that. And the earlier example you gave, an electrician laying concrete. No disrespect to my IBW friends, but you'd never see an electrician laying concrete because they might actually get their hands dirty. So, but truth be told, this point though, and this is something that, because we're going to get to the conversation about value, because I think that's where I really want to focus on, at least where I see value in this aside from cost. There is a cost to work being performed poorly, and we have seen that in this district. To be candid, we have seen through construction projects where we have had failures and have taken us years to reconcile, and in doing that process, we realized and learned, in one example, that the wonderful new roof that we purchased that was the best of technology failed because it was installed incorrectly, because either the contractor or the workers installing that particular roof did not, either they weren't qualified or knew how to do it properly, and in the end we literally paid the price for that. There is a cost to not having people who are trained and certified to do the work. Quality. We all know somebody who can do it cheaper. Right, we've all had that experience. I got a guy who can do it cheaper. Trust me, I do too. And it usually costs you more. So that is a point that's important to me because it's quality, and there is value in getting it done right the first time. And we have seen that in the district. The other question that I had, prevailing wage versus CWA, is there's a lot of talk about local hire, and one of the things prevailing wage Davis-Bacon doesn't account for is necessarily ensuring that it's local hire. So under traditional prevailing wage, again, the salaries are there, but can a contractor essentially bring their own workforce from out of county or out of state to work on that project? Again, prevailing wage ensures they're paid fairly, but can they bring folks literally from out of state to do the work?
Yes.
100% of the workforce. And again, I think what we've seen here is there's value in ensuring that at least a percentage of our folks here locally that live and work here in the district, whose kids go to our schools, have a stake in those jobs. So again, I see value in that. And even if there may be a perceived cost or a real cost, there's value in ensuring that those dollars are invested here in our folks. To that point, in 2024, we passed a bond, Measure BB, almost 69% approval rate. Now, we remember 2024. 2024 was not an uncontentious year, right? Inflation was tough, the economy was tough, and we went out to the public and asked for more money. And we got the biggest return of any school district in the Inland Empire, a higher approval rate than any other school district in the Inland Empire, because they trust us to invest their money wisely. And part of the conversations was about doing things right. And I believe that the voters want to see their money invested in the community, because we all have neighbors, friends, ourselves, have folks who are part of unions, who work in labor, who work in construction, and the value of having them be close to home is incredibly important. And I think that's part of the legacy and the success of Measure BB. Let me jump back to a question for you, Tom, with respect to, you mentioned the Janus decision, which is interesting because we've had to experience that here at the district, and I want to share a little bit what we've seen and how it applies in the case of the trades or construction or CWA. So here now, for example, a teacher can opt out of the union, if you will, in terms of paying dues. They have that option. They don't have to pay the dues. They can choose to not participate in the union process, the collective bargaining process. However, they are the beneficiary of the collective bargaining process, meaning when the teachers go and negotiate an increase in salary or a better benefit, that individual, while they've quote unquote opted out, still benefits from it. How does it work in this example of with CWA's unions and under Janus?
Well, it doesn't change the fact that the union members must stay as members of their union. We're only talking about that 5 core employees. And at the international level with these unions, they have notified the local unions that those core employees do not have to join if they do not wish to, because they do not want to get into that whole Janus issue about how much money is being spent for political reasons, et cetera. So they decided they'll leave it up to the worker.
So they still have that option then? Okay, great. And then just touching on options for identifying if we want to prioritize folks from a certain community or a certain group. So you mentioned local hire, and that could mean lots of different things. So presumably it could mean folks who live in the school district, correct? It could mean folks who, could it mean folks who graduated from the district, for example? Could that be a criteria? So somebody, they may be living just outside the district in a nearby community, but they're a graduate of the district, they've gone through apprenticeship program, they still have family here. Could we also include that as a priority?
What I've negotiated in the past, which I think works the best, is 3 tiers. Tier 1, which is given the highest priority, is those individuals who reside within your zip codes, or graduates wherever they live, or veterans wherever they live. Once that list is exhausted, then you go to Tier 2, which is anyone who lives within 30 miles of the school district. You exhaust them. Then you go to the Inland Empire. And so what you do is you'll set a goal for each one of those tiers. If they can reach the goal 50%, 60% out of Tier 1, fantastic. But your footprint isn't that big. But Tier 1, Tier 2, they should be able to hit a high goal.
And if we wanted to discuss, neighboring communities, because our districts share communities with, whether it's the city of San Bernardino, city of Fontana, we could identify those neighboring communities as well, because, clearly there could be a benefit to supporting folks here that are in the area.
But I would stay with Tier 1. Those are the stakeholders. They're the bond taxpayers. And then go to you can define Tier 2 however you want.
Okay, that helps. And then lastly, you mentioned there's a lot to be said about whether this adds cost. In some cases it does, the administration of that. Could you talk about how it is administered? Who does the administration? Is it the district that does it internally? Is it a third party outside of the district? How does that work?
In every case that I'm aware of, they hire a third party. There's 4 or 5 labor compliance groups out there that will administer the CWA. Over time, theoretically, you probably could train somebody in-house, but that would take time. So typically, you'll go out on an RFP. You'll probably get 2 or 3 that will be interested. And then the issue is, how much do you want to spend? What services do you want?
So that would all then be included in that RFP process.
Correct.
It wouldn't necessarily have to burden our staff who already have a lot on their plate. I know, Mr. Fromm, you've got a lot to do on the administrative side. I think one of the things we would probably want to look at is making sure that we've got somebody that's working hand in hand, but not pushing too much onto our administrators, Dr. Miranda. That's something.
Right. And the issue you really want from that labor compliance coordinator is reliable reports on how they're doing on the local hire. Why is it working? Why is it not working? We need to know that.
Well, last comment I'll have, and I appreciate the information really all around, because this is a big project, or rather, it's going to impact a lot of projects, because we've got Measure BB, over $200 million in potential projects here in the future. But I want to get back to the concept of value, because we can get bogged down in costs, 5%, 10%, 18%. Let's just call it 20%. And for me, it's a simple concept. Something could cost $1, or it could cost $1.20. And if I was given a choice between spending $1 outside of my community, somewhere with someone who brings nothing back, or spend $1.20 so my next door neighbor can continue to have a good life, support his children, support his kids, invest in the community, coach Little League or soccer with me, yeah, that's going to cost me more. I'm a taxpayer in the district. But to me, that's worth it, because there's greater value there than just saving a few pennies here and there. Not that I don't appreciate, and I'm not careful with the taxpayers' money. I am a taxpayer. I know exactly what I pay in property taxes and in the bond measure taxes. But the reason we got to almost 70% approval is because they know that we put that money right back into our schools, and they've seen what we've done with it. So I appreciate it. I'm a proponent of this because I think it's going to add incredible value to it. I know we've got some other comments, so let me go ahead and kick it over to Mr. Ibarra and others.
Okay.
Please.
Thank you, Dan, very much. I'm also in support of approving this as well. And what comes to mind as you were speaking and listening to some of the comments that some of the union workers were making earlier, and it reminded me, because I have several friends who have worked or have retired or currently working for unions in the area, carpenters, et cetera, roofers, and et cetera. But one of the things that it comes to mind is the fact that they were always very, very proud to have built something in the local area. Because I would drive with them, and they would say, I was part of that school. I helped build that school. I helped build that gymnasium. I helped build that building over there. And I saw the pride in what they were talking about, and talking about the other co-workers, and the feeling that they gave that showed that they did a job well done. I mean, it was so obvious. And so, you know, bringing this opportunity to our local family here in Colton and the Colton area, I think this is something that we've always talked about. I think this is something that we've strived for. And I think you've noticed in past projects that we've tried to bring in local workers and so forth. And I think this will solidify the fact that, you know, we want to go with the CWA. My father was a union worker. You know, I'm in the union through education, and, you know, I support union. So, and I think that there's nothing but benefits that our district, our staff, our children, our community can get from making this agreement. So I just wanted to mention that and to thank each and every one of you for being here, because I think it makes a really big difference to show that you're supporting this effort. And it tells us as a board a whole lot about you as individuals yourselves. So thank you.
Mr. Ibarra. Board Member Fuentes.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity, Board President Dan. Just a quick comment. I'm also in support of the CWA. This week I've had so many acronyms in my head. So I also have actually family members who are part of the union. I have actually a cousin who works in the ironworks, and he's a Marine, former Marine, and I've always just exactly what Mr. Ibarra was saying. When we drive down the freeway and stuff, man, I was up on that bridge. I did this and I did that, and they're very proud, and it just, to me, my dad, prior to becoming a pastor, was a union worker. He used to do like the windows and all that. He worked for that Winco Windows back in the day, and he was very proud to be part of that. And there was so much support from the brothers and sisters, as they call themselves, and I call you guys brothers and sisters too, but there was so much quality of work that was done. It was done with love, and it was done with quality. And I remember my dad would come home and be frustrated sometimes. Man, they want to, no, I can't do that. I need to do it this way. And you know something? I think having something like this, and we've experienced where we haven't had quality of work, you know, and it's cost us millions, to be honest with you. Millions of dollars, because the work wasn't done correctly. And to me, I'm in big support of this. I thank you to our union workers and our unions for being here and support with us, and hopefully we can get this resolved today.
Any other comments, questions? Please, Board Member Haro.
Yes, as others have said on the board, I too am in support of this. My father was a steel worker for United States Steel for 46 years, and so I grew up union. So of course I'm going to be supportive of this. I just want to say that.
Any other comments, questions? Yes, Board Member Flores.
I just want to thank you for the information. I've been receiving a lot of education today, so I appreciate, you know, the way you laid it out, and it's very, very informative. So, again, I am in support.
Thank you.
Other comments, questions? You know, there was one point that we didn't delve into in great detail, but it is absolutely a part of this, is the career technical aspect of it. Yes. That this does create the opportunities for us to create direct pathways for our students to enter apprenticeship programs, to start pre-apprenticeship programs while they're still in high school. Imagine being 16, 17-year-old and starting your career excited. And yeah, you know, I went to college. I had a mortgage-sized student loan debt, and thankfully I was able to get a job. But that's not the only way to build a career. And again, as you see a theme, here up and down the dais, my father was a Teamster for 44 years. My grandfather, plumber pipe fitter 364. That's why we're in Colton. It created opportunities to build a career and a life that transformed future generations.
I could say a quick comment.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
We have one of our school principals, and I think you know about this. Her son wanted to become an electrician, and so I reached out to one of our unions here, and I told her, go speak to this gentleman right here, and maybe we can get an opportunity. He wanted to become an electrician. Well, he's part of the apprenticeship program right now, and he's working. That's our principal out at Grimes Elementary, Judy Servin, and Dr. Servin, and her son is doing that currently. And I know it's a program it's going to help. It works in conjunction with what we're going to be doing.
So again, any other comments or questions? I do want to make one note, though, Dr. Miranda, and so there is a resolution, obviously, on our agenda to approve. The resolution language, and really this is just the impetus to begin the process of drafting and working with all stakeholders, and we want to work with all stakeholders. But the resolution does call out specifically Measure BB. Obviously, that's the new bond with the $225 million. But I want to note, we have an existing $45 million left in Measure G, and that money has been earmarked for a new school in Bloomington. And we have every intent, and let me make this clear, we have every intent of building a new school in Bloomington, new elementary school that the students deserve, that we have put ourselves and our reputation on the line to deliver, and we will. I want to ensure that if this CW is approved, or when it's approved, that that project, that new school, is included in this. Because can you imagine being able to tell your children or your grandchildren, I built your school, right? So when we get to that point in the agenda, I'll pull the resolution. I'll ask for just that simple amendment that it be included. And I understand the language does allow for it, but I just want to make sure that that's,
It does, yeah.
that's included, so we're clear that we want to look at Measure G for the new school in Bloomington. So if not, any other questions for Mr. Kovacic, Dr. Miranda, or any of our staff? All right. Hearing none, I want to thank you, Tom. Great presentation. We really appreciate it. I'm sure we'll be working together and hearing more. So. Right. Thank you for that, everybody. That moves us into action session items. We have got a number of action session items that we will need to pull today. So I will first make note of those that we'll need to pull for separate consideration, and then I'll ask for others that would like to be pulled. So let's begin with items 5.2, 5.3, 5.4, and 5.5 will need to be pulled for separate consideration. And we won't have to, since Board Member Thornhill is not here, but that's a good call. And so I will ask, are there other items that board members wish to pull for separate consideration?
The CWA, so these
Yes,
gentlemen
I'm going to
can
ask.
go home? Want to
Yes,
go home after
that's
working all day?
5.60, and we do want to make that clarification with the amendment to include Measure G, so I'll put 5.60, but I believe Board Member Bertha Flores?
Yes, 5.38, 5.64, and 5.69.
Excellent. So we will pull 5.38, 5.64, and 5.69. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is ask for a motion to approve the balance of the agenda with the exception of the following items: 5.2, 5.3, 5.4, 5.5, 5.38, 5.60, 5.64, and 5.69.
I'll move that.
I'll second.
Motion. I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? It is so ordered. I'm just going to take these quickly in order, so we'll start with 5.2. Is there a motion to approve the special? Yes.
I
Sorry.
motion. Ibarra, second.
Apologize. That was Fuentes with the motion and Ibarra with the second. My apologies. 5.2. Did I make a mistake? I'm sorry. 5.3. Oh, it's 5.3. Well, we did, so we're going to have to vote on it. So 5.2, is there a motion?
I'll move.
Is there a second? Motion by Board Member Fuentes, second by Board Member Ibarra. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none. Apologies for that. You're right. 5.3, adoption of resolution for Board Member Haro. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll motion.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Board Member Bertha Flores, second by Board Member Fuentes. All those in favor of item 5.3 say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Okay.
It is approved with Board Member Haro abstaining. All right. Item 5.4, is there a motion?
I'll move that.
Motion by Board Member Fuentes. Is there a second? Second by Board Member Sandoval. All those in favor of approving item 5.4 say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions?
I'll abstain.
One abstention. Board Member Ibarra. The item is approved. Okay, item 5.5. Is there a motion to approve this item?
So move.
Have a motion by Board Member Ibarra, seconded by Board Member Fuentes. All those in favor of approving item 5.5 say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions?
I abstain.
One abstention. Ms. Sandoval. The item is approved. And we're going to jump to item 5.38. Do we have a motion to approve? I have a motion by Board Member Bertha Flores.
I'll second that.
Second by Board Member Fuentes. And I'll turn it over to Ms. Bertha Flores for any
No, I just,
separate vote.
Separate
Okay. All right. All those in favor of item 5.38 say aye.
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 Any opposed?
opposed?
Any abstentions? All right. The item is approved with Board Member Bertha Flores dissenting. All right. Takes us to item 5.60. I will go ahead and motion that we approve the. I'm going in order. I'm going in numerical order. Sorry, just to keep it. No, you're good. Just to keep it in numerical order. 5.60 is the adoption of the resolution to approve negotiation of community workforce agreement for projects funded by Measure BB funds. My motion will include an amendment that it also references Measure G bond funds.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Motion by myself, second by Board Member Fuentes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, it is so ordered. Approved. Thank you. All right, item 5.64. This is agreement with Leadership Associates for executive advising to the Assistant Superintendent, HR. Is there a motion to approve item 5.64?
A motion.
Okay, motion by Board Member Bertha Flores. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Board Member Fuentes. Any comments or concerns? Just separate vote. Okay. All right. All those in favor of item 5.64 say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Opposed.
Opposed.
Okay. Any abstentions? All right. Hearing none, the item is approved 4-2 with Board Members Haro and Bertha Flores dissenting. Okay. Our last item for separate consideration is item 5.69. I'll ask for a motion. All right. Have a motion by Board Member Bertha Flores. Is there a second? I'll go ahead. Nope, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'll second it. That's fine. Item 5.69. Just separate consideration? Yes. Okay. All right. So I'll call for the vote. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of approving item 5.69 say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Opposed.
Any abstentions? All right. The item is approved 4-2 with Board Members Haro and Bertha Flores dissenting. And that is all that I have for our action items. We made through 73 items, so excellent. All right, this moves us to administrative reports. Any questions with respect to disbursements, our approved disbursements, 6.1? No, not here. Just any questions on? Oh, sure, please. It's under Robert's rules. It's actually you. I'm sorry? Yes, so yes, typically. The way that we've typically done it here is in order to even discuss or put the item before the board, we do need a motion and a second is how we. So what I'll ask then, if we can, Dr. Miranda, can we get clarification from council on that? For the time being, though, I think we'll go ahead and proceed as we act. But that is it's a fair question. I think we just want to get. Okay. We'll get clarification on that. That's a good point.
Fine.
Thank you. Appreciate that, Board Member Ibarra. Yeah.
Okay.
6.2 facilities update. I see Director Chang walking the other direction, so I'm assuming we don't have an update. We had already our ACE and CSE updates. Do we have a MAC update for this evening? No MAC update. All right. Do we have an ROP update? No. Oh, next week. Okay, great. All right, Dr. Miranda, this takes us to our superintendent's communique.
All right, I'll be quick because I know it's a late night here, but thank you, Board President, thank you, Board, members of the audience, and of course, members who are out there online still listening this evening. Thank you for being here this evening, still hanging in there. We're almost done here. So I do want to ask the board for a special board meeting. This is in regards to my evaluation for this year. I know we've already had a couple the last couple of weeks, so we've been busy, but I did send the board my timeline, and so I'm asking the board to consider. These are actually our board meeting dates already on the calendar, so I'm just going to piggyback off those so that we don't add an extra day, an extra night if it pleases the board. So we're looking at Thursday, September 4th at 3 o'clock here, or Thursday, September 18th at 3 p.m. We've talked to Dr. Beckler about these dates, so he is available. And so, again, proposing we start at 3 o'clock here. If it's okay with the board, I would ask for your approval to proceed on one of these dates. So,
I'm good with September 4th. I don't know, the board.
Table, and this would fourth works, Mr. Barra. Does that work well? I mean, well enough, right? Okay, Fair enough. And I'm in the same boat. I think I'm flexible. I'll have to move some things around, but this obviously is important. So, so the consensus is, Dr. Miranda, that we'll do September 4th, and we'll begin at, I see
3 p.m.
Okay. Here, obviously, in the boardroom. Okay.
That's correct. We'll be here at 3 p.m. and with Dr. Beckler. He will be here, and I'll go over a little bit with more with the board in closed session in terms of the process, shouldn't take that long. But all right, well, thank you for that. We'll put that on the board's calendar and get going on this and provide you the materials and move forward with it. Thank you very much, board. I do want to, it was brought up, thank you to our, actually CSEA president brought this up, the kickoff event. And, you know, as the board's aware, last Wednesday we had, I think it's been over 20 years. I've been told this is the actual first district-wide event for all of our Colton employees. So I've been with the district, 18 years? Wow, you know, it's time flies when you're having fun. So the day was honestly filled with enthusiasm. Thank you for board members that were able to make it. And it was a gigantic pep rally filled with energy. Of course, Mr. Boyce over there, Jamal, our dancer, MC, Marcos Reese, did an incredible job. Thank you for that. Appreciate all the support. You know, we shared our theme for the year, which is serving with purpose, together as one district. Our keynote speaker, Saul Martinez, a former graduate of Bloomington High School, really inspired us, highlighting some of the employees, and I say employees because it wasn't just teachers, it was also our classified employees who made a significant difference in his life. And I do also, of course, he acknowledged his mom, Alicia Martinez, who worked for our district for many, many years, and to see her there just in tears, it was incredible. I got an opportunity to talk to his dad and mom, and they're just so proud of Saul. He's just an inspiration for all of us. And so, just again, thank you for all the teamwork. Thank you to the management team for coming at 6 o'clock in the morning on that Wednesday to help set up. It was a gigantic effort again, and so I extend my heartfelt thanks to everybody involved, the planning, the setup, the cleanup, and just incredible day. The shirts were amazing. Every single one of our employees, again, we have close to 2,500 employees in our district, received a shirt that says whatever, Titan Pride, Yellow Jacket Pride, CJUSD Pride. And so I'm just so happy that that event just went great for all our employees. And now we're planning next year's kickoff, so next day. All right, first day of school, we're back, right? August 4th, Monday this week. We started, Monday marked the first day back to school for both students and staff. Got an opportunity to go out there with executive cabinet directors. We're all out there at the schools just welcoming our students back, our parents back, our community back. It's so awesome to see our little ones, all their students back, because that is our why. That's why when we talk about purpose, we are here for our students, number one. And just to see the TK students, they're so little, but they're so beautiful in those classrooms, and got to talk to some parents at Rogers and just at different locations. It just warms your heart. So I encourage the team to get out there, experience that, because there's nothing like the first day of school with hopes, dreams, and so we're so excited. And I know this year is going to be a phenomenal year. Thanks to our parents for preparing our kids for school and bringing them on time, right? So it was wonderful to see all the families out there. Just amazing. And to our obviously our staff, all staff, just being out there. The red carpet was out in many places, and I thought that was just amazing and awesome. So again, welcome back to our students, our parents, community. Everybody's back. Again, serving with purpose, together as one district. That's what it's about, and we're going to continue to work hard for our families to ensure they get what they need. And so again, with that, it's just great to be back. And so the end of the week, right? So I know that staff is ready for a break already, teachers, right? And then reassess and get some rest over the weekend, so you go back full of energy. Thank you very much. That's my communique this evening.
Appreciate that. It takes us to board member comments. We'll begin this evening with Board Member Haro. Okay, Board Member Fuentes.
Real quick, welcome back everyone to a new school year, 25-26. And also just want a couple of shout outs real quick to the PPS department. I was out here, stopped by and said hi to the PPS department and the team. Man, they had a full house here yesterday. Thank you, Rob, for that opportunity to speak to the team also. I also stopped by with HR and they had their new employee orientation. Had an opportunity to speak to them also, and that was great. And also shout out to the road runners out there in Hoopa Vista Elementary School. I had the opportunity to DJ their event yesterday, and it was a successful event. Man, they had a bunch of parents out there yesterday, and so just wanted to get those shout outs out. And remember, have a great weekend. Have a great week. We'll see ya. Thanks.
Thank you, Board Member Fuentes. Board Member Bertha Flores.
No comment.
Board Member Sandoval.
No comment.
Board Member Ibarra.
Just a really quick back to school. Best wishes to everybody. Hopefully you all had a wonderful summer. It went too fast. And I think that for some of us who's just started work for the first day, like I did this week, I'm gonna feel it by tomorrow. And, getting up at 6 when I was getting used to getting up at 9. So, but with all that being said and done, look forward to the 25-26 school year. I know we'll all do a wonderful job, and this is going to be a great year for us. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Board Member Ibarra. And just want to again welcome everybody back to school. It's been an incredible start to the year. All my kids obviously are back in school, so I have elementary, middle, and high school, 3 separate drop-off times. The late drop-off for my high schooler is an interesting thing because he just kind of sits there for 30 minutes and waits. It's time to go, but he stays busy. But I want to thank Principal Abbott for an opportunity that I had, or he had given me, I should say, to address the students, the teachers and staff at Colton High as they were coming back, just to reflect on my own experience as a student at Colton High, as a graduate of Colton High, and now coming back as a trustee. It's something that I probably take for granted until I got to sit down and really think about what it means to be in a district where I really attribute a lot of my success to the teachers, the staff, the administrators, to the coaches that I had at Colton High School and my Colton schools. And now to see my son walk the halls of that same school with tremendous pride, now the 3rd generation of Yellow Jacket. I want to thank you for that, John. I would not have taken the time to reflect on that and learned to appreciate it without that, so I appreciate that. With that, we'll go ahead and adjourn into closed session. Okay, we will reconvene the open session of tonight's meeting, and we have some items to report out from closed session. We'll begin with item 10.1. This is our personnel public employee appointment discipline dismissal release item. On a motion by Board Member Fuentes and seconded by Board Member Haro and carried on a 6-0 vote, the board approved the appointment, approved the following appointments as listed on the agenda, item 10.1, for both certificated regular staff, classified management, classified coaching, and volunteer coaching. Item 10.2, on a motion by Board Member Fuentes and seconded by Board Member Sandoval and carried on a 6-0 vote, the board voted to terminate employee number 13550. The board voted that this action be effective immediately. And item 10.3, in closed session on today, August 7th, the board heard the appeal of district level findings concerning a complaint filed by employee number 8059. The board voted to uphold the district level findings. It was a motion by Board Member Fuentes and seconded by Board Member Bertha Flores and carried on a 6-0 vote. So it was unanimous. That again, the board uphold the district's level findings concerning employee number 8059. And item 10.6, we are reporting out that on a motion by Board Member Fuentes and seconded by Board Member Haro and carried on a 6-0 vote, the board appointed Dr. Tamara, my apologies, Tamara Frazier, Assistant Principal, Slover High School. So with that, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Good meeting.